Hi, I'm Nik Sharma, a scientist and a chef, and today I'm going to show you how to make my veggie burgers. Let's start rolling. So the first thing to do is get these black beans out on a baking sheet that's been lined with foil. I'm going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil on top, shake them around, and now I'm going to transfer these beans to my oven that's been preheated at 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to let them cook until they turn dry. We want to get most of that moisture out. Today I'm going to use sweet potatoes, celery, and carrots for my main vegetables to make these veggie burgers, and I'm going to process them in the Breville Paradice 9-cup food processor. To start, I'm going to pull out the caddy, which contains all the blades and all the parts that I need to put together. So first, I'm going to pull out the spindle, pop it in there, and then I am going to use the shredding disc, and today I'm going to use the coarse shredder. All right, so that's on top, and now I'm going to pop the lid back on, and then we're going to process our veggies. First, I'm going to shred the celery. Next, I'm going to do the carrots. Now for the sweet potatoes, I'm going to put them one in at a time using the same blade. And that's it, it's so quick. Now I'm going to drive out the moisture from these vegetables by cooking them for a little bit on the stove. To start, I've got a pan that's preheated to medium-high heat, and I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. And now I'm going to toss in my veggies that were shredded earlier. I'm going to saute them just until a little bit of the moisture comes out, because with the veggie burger you want low moisture but you don't want it dry. And this will help the veggie burger stick and hold its shape while it's cooking on the grill or in the oven. So constantly stir this so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. Now that the veggies are cooked, I'm going to transfer them to a bowl and let them cool for a little bit. And then my beans will be done. We'll process them in the food processor to create the patty for our veggie burgers. Now for the fun part, I'm going to put all these ingredients together and make the veggie patties. To do this, I need my food processor. So I'm going to pop the lid off. And now I'm going to go to the caddy and pull out the spindle, pop that in there, and I am going to go for the S-shaped blade. Next, I'm going to toss in the veggies that I cooked earlier on the stovetop. My beans are cooked, so I'm going to pull the beans out from the oven. They're dry but not crispy. Now I'm going to just carefully put them in here with the veggies. And this is my favorite part to this dish. Okay, so we're going to add spices, and I don't like using anything with too much moisture when making a veggie burger, so I've got dried ginger and dried garlic in here to add extra flavor, onion powder, as well as a couple of other spices including garam masala, turmeric for color, and some other flavoring ingredients. And you can find all these ingredients in my cookbook as well as in the Breville Plus app. So get all the spices in there. The next thing that I'm going to do is use day-old sticky rice. This is a really great binding agent for veggie burgers, especially if you can't use eggs for whatever reason. This is a great binding agent. Now I'm going to add tomato paste. I love adding tomato paste to vegetable dishes because it adds sweetness as well as a lot of umami. And then on that note, I'm going to add a little soy sauce, just a splash. And then I like fresh herbs in everything that I use. So today I'm using chopped cilantro, and just coarsely chop them because they're going to get processed within the food processor again. If you don't like cilantro, you could use fresh parsley, dill, any other herb that you love. I'm going to add a little bit of salt in here. And now I'm going to process this to make a paste. I'm giving a few short pulses just to get it all together. Sometimes it might need a helping hand. And now I'm going to pulse it again to make our paste for our veggie burgers. And that's it. Now that the mixture for my veggie burgers is ready, I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator for a little bit just for it to come together, and then we'll come back to it. Now that the vegetable mixture has been sitting in the refrigerator, it's cooled, it's ready to get together. Now I'm gonna make the veggie patties. To do this, I'm gonna grab the mixture and press it between my hands that have been greased with a little bit of olive oil and pack it down as tightly as you can. Any cracks form on the sides, you can always just smoothen them up as you rotate. It's kind of like making a big fat cookie. And that's it. I'm going to wrap them up, stick them in the freezer for about 30 minutes to firm up. While my burgers are sitting in the freezer chilling, I am going to prepare one of my favorite condiments to go with them, my Buttermilk Caraway herb sauce. And it's all done in a few seconds in my Breville Paradice 9-cup food processor. I've already got my S-shaped blade in here, and I'm going to add some delicious, creamy, tangy buttermilk. I'm going to use caraway seeds, a jalapeno that's been diced, some fresh garlic, dill, because dill and buttermilk are a combination made in heaven. And then I'm going to add some fresh cilantro and a good pinch of salt. And now I'm just going to pulse it until it all comes together. Look how luscious, velvety, and creamy that is. And now we're going to move on to the veggie burgers. I've got a pan that's on my stove that's been heated to medium-high heat. I'm going to pour a little bit of oil on top, just enough to coat the pan. These are frozen, so they come off pretty easy. I'm gonna slide them in. I've got my veggie patties cooking in this pan. I'm not going to disturb them until they start to come off by themselves. And you can start to tell if you look at the edges, they should be turning crispy and golden brown. That's when you know when it's ready to be flipped. All right, I'm ready to flip the burger. So I'm now going to let it cook again for another 2 to 3 minutes. Now my veggie burger patties are cooked all the way through. I'm going to transfer them to this baking sheet and then we'll get ready to prep them. Now feel free to make veggie burgers or any kind of burger the way you love them. If you like cheese on top, melt some cheese, put some cheese on top. I'm not using any cheese today. Now, I'm going to grab a plate, grab a nice warm bun, and then, so I'm going to splash some sauce on top. I'm going to add some crisp pickles on top and some fresh lettuce. I'm going to load my plate up with a lot of chips. That's my veggie burger with my buttermilk caraway sauce with fresh herbs. It's full of flavor and it is delicious. You will not miss anything. And now I'm going to take a big bite. That is so good. I can taste the crunchiness of the vegetables. I'm getting the flavor from the sauce. It is so good that I think you should go home and make it. And you can get the recipe in my cookbook Veg-Table as well as in the Breville Plus app.